Stay tuned, stay locked to the Prophet Kwaku on the Nubian Forum People's Talk Show. Stay tuned, stay locked to the Prophet Kwaku on the Nubian Forum People's Talk Show.
Otep, Itepe Ineke J.R. Senebe.
Remember that.
Divine peace, long life, stability, and good health. You're in tune to Nubian from People's Talk Show. Live on the Rock 926.com. Tell your friends, your family, your friend and them. So the prophet is on ear. Catch up on 87.8 upon the FM.
Stay tuned, stay locked to the Prophet Kwaku on the Nubian Forum People's Talk Show.
Yes, in tune to Nubian from People's Talk Show live here on Rock 926.com. Inside the People's Talk Show, inside your show where you can, come and speak about the things that affect you, or the things that's going on in our community that we think we should know. Now, I know that a lot of people is, worried about certain little activities that's been going on in our community in terms of a lot of knife violence, violence of the most heinous nature, where our young people are engaging in violent confrontation and juke up themselves and all them things there. But I want us to realize to ourselves, as much as this is a tragic situation that is transpiring in our community, there are other more sinister events that is going along, that is going to affect the future of all of our children, not just the one them that you find say them just get caught up in these nefarious acts. And so I want to deal with those kind of things. And if you feel like you want to call and talk about the fact that children is being stopped up and things like that, then feel free. Don't feel no way. This is an open show today. As you know, I'll be continue talking about the purpose of the Mangamizi, the purpose of the March, African Emancipation Day, Reparations March, and the work that we're trying to do in cooperation with that and claiming of the day, etc., etc., etc. But you know, some me's a fireman, and everything I forget burn. So here the fireman keep it on.
Touch Babylon as
in them direction. Yeah, integral with them infection. Then can't select with in them selection. Then
Hold on, black people. One year we keep it on us, So we see we have fire upon this system, You see, if you're seeking reparatory justice and reparations, you have to challenge the very system that you live within. See? Wherever we are as African people, the systems that we are following are not the systems governed by African people or even for African people. And even though you may see African people in quite affluent positions within the societies that we live around the world, you're still doing the work for the people them that is suppressing you. And so a lot of questions were asked of me. I gave a talk down in Trafalgar Square yesterday at the Slavery Remembrance Day thing that they have over in Trafalgar Square. I was invited as a speaker to speak on the rostrum, read about the march and, my take on the whole slavery business. And so I burn some fire. I'm a bonfire under all kind of people. Anybody that was involved in the enslaving of our ancestors, I burn fire upon it. And we have to realize about I and I differently is that I don't run with the news passe. So if I see I watch news. I have to watch news because I have to know what is being said. And if I think it's not correct, then I have to challenge it. So that is why I watch news. Not enough of our people watch the news. I know that some people don't watch news because they say it's depressing, it's too much bad news, etc., etc. But I always remember my old man say, you have to pick out sense out of nonsense. And sometimes you have to view things. And what we have to remember, a lot of these news things that's coming about the place, our people are affected by it, and a lot of our people believe it. I know there's this thing going about fake news and all the rest of it, but they've been giving fake news long before social media came about. And this is why you find that we have to find an alternative way for us to communicate information to our people. Before it was the music, we weren't hearing enough of our type of music on the airwaves that was run by Europeans. And so therefore, it forced those of us to go and open up stations like this and other various stations back in the day to produce or to play the music that we wanted to hear, the music that we was going into the dance and that we were going to parties and dancing to. We weren't hearing them on the local radio stations. And so therefore, radio stations had to come, like them did have the radio station they did name back in the day. I can't remember them tonight back them so long ago. But I was on one called Power Jam. There was Genesis. There was one over East London. DJ Keatley does it. What's the name of that station again? Can't remember them. But a whole host of the radio stations came about. Then Galaxy came about, and then Conscious Radio, Omega Radio. Various other radios in London, and then radio stations outside of London. African people had to create these stations so that we could hear the music that we were listening to at the time. At that time now, we did not use the earwave them to deal with politics or to speak about things that was affecting us as a people. It was predominantly just smooth music. It was about the music thing. And then, came along Genesis Radio in London. I'm talking in terms of London. And then you had Conscious Radio. There was another radio station, Roots FM. That's another station that started. But Genesis was the one that really kind of started the whole talk thing, as far as I know it. And then I was approached by the owners of Power Jam at the time, and they asked me to come along, and I came along, and with myself and Kuumba, Nikoja, and Garadina joined us lately. We did a successful Nubian Forum People's Talk Show that we did for quite a few years. I think it started in late 94 or 95, one of them year there. And we went on right up into, I think, about 2004 before they sold Power Jam. And at that time, Genesis was running and Galaxy, and it was a vibrant thing in the London area, at least, where we were sending out information and talking about the things that concerned us in the African community. They had LBC radio that was going on as well, but it was just dealing with their thing, and they only speak about the things that they think is important for them or that they think is politically correct to speak about. And so things that affect us directly as Africans weren't really being dealt with, and it was brushed over, and a lot of the presenters then would just cut off people and things like that. They do that down to the day. And then you had BBC Radio London doing their things. And then you had Choice FM came along, and they were just playing music. They were playing mainly soul music. They were supposed to play reggae music, and they got fined, I think, one time for not playing enough reggae at the time. And so then came Vibes FM, and then Vibes FM came, and they were mainly a reggae station. Vibes is mainly a reggae station, but they do play soul, but they're mainly a reggae station. And then you had Lightning Radio. Yeah, that was a spring off of another station a long time ago anyway. But all these different radio stations, and then on Lightning radio station you have Danny God. He does a talk show on a Monday. Yeah. And then Vibes don't touch talk show and politics. They don't deal with that. They don't go nowhere near it. And so it was mainly Power Jam and Genesis at the time, and then Galaxy. And those were the 3 stations that was pumping out the information for our people. And then, you know, Danny God came along, and it was a vibrant time in the 90s with all those different stations. And then we had Baseline FM. Yeah, that's it, Baseline. Yeah, Baseline FM. Yeah, and our brethren, God, name will come to me, but my brethren still get. You know, you can't remember people's names sometimes. And it was all about bringing the information to our people, because we were fake news. We weren't getting no news. Let me just tell you that, from no news going on happening in the African community. And so when Professor Sally came along with Marindina in the 90s, there he came with Marindina, and there was a spread on him in the I think it was the News of the World at the time, before them done the News of the World. And there was a spread of this man claims he's cured AIDS. You know what I mean? Because I know so the whole AIDS thing, they come out in the 80s and all them thing there. And Professor Sally was a Ugandan professor of medicine, and he created this supplement, this food supplement called Marindina, A, B, and J, and he treated over about, I think it was he treated about 80,000 people with a 80% success rate of clearing up this thing. And so a lot of people was dealing with it, and I had the pleasure and the honor of interviewing Baba Sally on our show on Power Jam at the time. And then he went to Genesis, and there was a whole campaign around that. We went, you know, and then, you know, Marindina started selling to the community, and there was people coming up with testimonies of what Marindina did for them and all the rest of it. Then them tried to shut him down, and we went to Chiswick to this food place where there was a demonstration, and he won that case and things like that. And you know, the rest is history. And then we had a situation with a young girl called Sanjay Lewis, and I never forget that. You know, that was a personal sojourn that I went on with that particular thing, when the sister came to Sandra and came to us and approached us. In fact, it was a brother that saw a clip in the Voice newspaper at the time, and he called her and gave her my number and said, call this brother, I think he can help you. And she called me, and I spoke with her and things like that, and said I'd interview her. And then I interviewed her, I think I interviewed her husband. Yeah, interviewed him on Power Jam, and then I gave them the details for Genesis and Galaxy. And then we just went on this thing to raise money for the child and things like that. And that's another history. I'll go into that probably another time, you know. But my point of speaking about this and saying this is because we have a rough deal in this country. In fact, we have a rough deal in the world. And as much as I am annoyed and sad about the loss of young lives, young African lives, by young African men, still have to look at the big picture. I still have to look, where does this all originate from? Because there's a narrative that's moving around in our community, where I have been a victim of that same narrative, where we start to blame ourselves for our own condition. And blame is a very serious thing. When you're blaming somebody for something, it's a serious allegation. And people saying, you know, this happened a long time ago, we're here now, we should know better. You know, I gave a talk yesterday, and it was about the Mahangamizi, the Holocaust that we paid as African people under the system of enslavement that Europeans and Arabs and Jews engaged in of our people to build up their various economies to where they are today. You see, African people are not in the situation they are in now because African people was whatless, no good, bad, or anything like that. Any traits that they can accuse us of, they have them within their own societies. So we are not, you know, we have no monopoly on bad mind. teeth and all them something there. Yeah? We not on a monopoly on that. They all do. You see them as powerful and as wealthy as China is today in terms of militarily, culturally and economically. Yeah, they still have their issues in China. Them have them issues in Hong Kong. You know, see China man in Hong Kong, them don't want China man to rule them. They want to be ruled by Britain. And these are China man. You see what I'm dealing with? So we as African people don't have no monopoly upon people that would want to betray their own culture for foreign culture. You see me I deal with? But the difference between us and all of these other people, that we are the ones that suffered at the hands, in fact, of all of them, to be quite honest. Yeah? And we are the parents of them all. There's nobody older than you African people on earth. None. Even the African child that born today is older than any other race on earth. Because you have the oldest DNA. Yeah? Nobody no older than you. That is a fact. And that is a scientific fact. Yeah? That's a biological fact. And it's an archaeological fact. See? So let me just get that out there. I mean, people just don't know that already. But there's certain events that happen along our journey as African people, where we moved out of Africa and moved into different parts of the planet. And when we came across the creatures that we found there that looked like humans, we tried to Africate them. We tried to give them a sense of writing, a sense of farming, a sense of not eating raw meat but cooking it. If you want yam meat, you need to cook it, because there's certain bacteria in it and all them something there. You know, we show them how to build or how to irrigate and things like that. And you know, these people have the evidence of that, but them hide it. Them have the evidence is there, but them hide it. Because what? Because Europeans don't want no one to know that they are the youngest people them on the planet. Them is the last one in the pack. Yeah, them are the baby of the human family. Them are the children. And you know, when you got these unruly last born child, the one them was spoiled, that's them. Them spoil the rest of the elders, them spoil them till them no good again. Them need some licking at them backside. Because ever since they have become controllers of the resources of the planet, look at the state of it. Look at the state of it. Them just mash it up. That's what them do. So they control the narrative. They control what people think. You know, I was on the tube yesterday, and I was going up to Trafalgar Square, and I travelled on the tube, and all through the tube and walking through the Jubilee line and the Northern line and them thing, then you see all these advertisements, and all you see, the majority, 90%, or in fact I would say 98% or maybe 99% of the image that you see is beautiful white women or some six-pack white man or something like that. And you know, the occasional homosexual thing they're pushing out there now. But in general, they're pushing white beauty, white succession. And you imagine every day traveling and seeing that. Yeah? And nothing that looks like you. Cause you know, me no see them put no Arab woman, and me no see them put no Chinese woman and them thing that they might do the off one and the 1 and 2 little black thing, African people, but other than that, it's mainly them. And they say a picture paints 1,000 words, and images have a very lasting effect on people. And so, imagine your children seeing that on the television every minute. A pure that they must say. Why is the prophet talking like that? I'm going to tell you why. Don't think that we've been in Britain, Britain's been here for so long, and people hasn't been stabbing and killing people forever. That is Britain. Britain's always been like that. There's always been violence in Britain. Britain is a violent country. It produces arms. It's the second largest producers of arms in the world. They are violent. They had an empire where they went round and kill off people and did all kind of nefarious activities. Right? But you see, the media just likes to keep promoting and these young people are egotistic. So every time you put it on the news that this stab and that stab, you're boosting them up. You're boosting them. It's a boosting. Yeah. It's on the news, fam. Yeah, shank up a man. Yeah, we did it. Because they ain't got no sense. They don't even over, around, circumference, radius, hectagon, triangle stand the implications of their actions. Listen, I visit prisons over the years, running courses with other brethren, and I got brethren that do that now. You see, when they're in the prisons, it's a different argument. When a man's facing 22 years and he's 15, he's got to spend 22 years in jail, never coming out again. I feel I look for a man batty all day. Different reality. Remember me tell you, they can give it the big one when they're out there. But you see, when they're behind the jail, I got a brethren that spent something like 20 years in jail. He said to me, Kwaku, you see when they come in there, it's bare tears you're hearing. When the cell door lock, I bare crying for their mummy and all them thing there. You understand me? He goes, all of them, none exempt. That him tell me, and enough prison in go through. Can fight all the while. So I'm telling you, Quakes, the bare tears that you're hearing there, until they get used to the system and they realize that's where they got to be and they got to work through it. You see, I'm not coming here to keep talking about that. I'm here to lick a shot across the board of this imperial system that continues to benefit from raping our motherland. Yeah? And raping us. And I'm not here to make things sound pretty and nice. I'm here to venerate those that came before me, because I stand on shoulders far larger than mine are. And I must make them be remembered, and I must make people view outside of what they, for want of an analogy, view outside of the box. In the 60s, the mods, the rockers, the rockabilly them, the Hells Angels, and all these people them, Skinners, they were fighting like mad, chopping up each other, slashing each other with flipping Stanley knife and chain and all them thing there. So don't make these people think like some little rock what happened with some youth down there. Alright then, it's tragedy, don't get me wrong. We don't want nobody to, enough of my brethren, them children, my cousin was murdered in a similar fashion. Yeah? So it is something that we have to address. But I don't want us to feel like, boy, this is an epidemic or a pandemic, as I'm meeting the idiot the Trump them when I say, well, England have all them thing there and all rate and all them something. You know what I mean? Where you have a metropolis, yeah, with what them have about 10 million people live in England, in London, I think it is, something like that. 8 to 10 million live in London alone. You got that amount of people crammed in the same place, you're going to have problems. You see what I'm saying? Now they're saying get more police and all that. It's not even the more police. It's we have to govern our community. I said this before on the radio. I said it last week. I said it the week before. Yeah? Just view this thing like when you're insuring your car. So, sometimes you have an accident, it's worth fixing. Sometimes it does right off. Some of them it does have to right off. This is war. And in any war you fight, there are casualties. You think because we're not standing at some front line and we got AK-47 and all these brand new gun them got that can shoot around corner and all them something there. Yeah? And man ain't dropping down like flies. That you're not in no war. So where you think you is? You got the people them that live around that area where this thing happening, talking about they want to move. They want to move the people. Let me tell you from now, when the poor people that move out of that area, you see if there's any more violence around there. When they gentrify the place. There was crime going on in Brixton like nothing. You think the police them never know who the criminal them was? They allowed them, they even lent them money. They even gave them money. Known criminals. Drug dealers and all them thing there, them give them money from the government. When other people them who was doing things for the community apply for them couldn't get the money. Them give to known criminals. That's something we me personally know. And I lie, and I nothing me tell you what me hear or what me know. Them give the people them the money. But you see, as soon as the decent black people them, African people them start to move out the area and move up a Tartanite and all them places, things of them getting away from the trouble. Yeah? They want it back the area. After 1981, them they want back the area. And look at Brixton now. What crime you see are going on Brixton? Anytime you see the police car them going, they're going up to Talkshow. They're going to all the estates where they've pushed the African population. That's where they're policing. Yeah? That's where they're policing. So we've got no youth. There's no youth clubs about the place where you can go and do after thing and youth workers today counsel and speak. Because sometimes young women and young men, they can't talk to their own parents, innit? And sometimes they need another adult that they can confide in and they can let out what they really feel. Because sometimes you can't talk to your mum and your dad about certain things, you know what I mean? But you can talk to somebody who's their age that's not like an uncle or aunt. And those things used to be in place back in the day. Yeah? You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit down here and play some hypocrite like enough of these you adults out there who's playing. You're hypocrites. Yeah, you going on like you was good all the time. Well, I weren't good. Yeah, my mother and father used to teach me certain things, and when me down the road with my brethren, I go on with all kind of thing. Me not all kind of fight and war with chop and all them thing there. Me used to do them thing there. Yeah, I have my crew and them thing there. And we go look for another crew. Yeah. And even so the man them who was my enemy and me used to fight with, we see them today and we laugh about it. Because we were children, then we young, we not no damn sense, we are idiot. Right? Me have a brother with me used to fight, me and him used to fight so often. Anytime I buck him up down at the club, I say, "Where you ready?" I'm come to him, say, "Where you ready?" And we just start. And then the gang things, I'm telling you, this is not no joke thing. I'm telling you the truth. Me have a man where me did in a war with. In my early 20s, young early to about 23, them ages, them and catching a war with man. A man cut me and me ambush him one night with my family and big crew and thing and chop him in I made and all them thing. Look for kill him, I go for kill his brother, you know. I think I joke to me, I tell you. This was no joke. And I see that man, no. And that man introduced his son to me and said, "Yeah, this is a uncle." And me have my youth and introduce to the man and thing like that. And we were arch enemies when we were youth, but we were foolish. That's what happens when you're young and you got no direction. You're just out there doing your own thing. Why? Because our parents had to go work. They had to go work and bring money in and keep a roof over our head. And the school didn't teach me nothing of any sort anyway. Understand? Most of the people them who me know is successful now, them never get successful school. Man leave and go get themselves in a job or something, or them do some activities, raise some money, start a business and all them kind of something there. You know what I mean? It wasn't like now, where we kind of got a bit of sense about this whole education system. And so we know if we just maneuver with children, them treat and all them something there. And even with that, we still have problem. You see me I say? Britain ain't our friend, never been our friend. Yeah, Britain uses us, and they're still using us today. Yeah, they used us to build up their plantations and things like that, and they looked at us, they despised us. They despised even announcing the Emancipation Proclamation of 1833. Yeah, and 1834, 1st of August. Them never want to do it, but we fight them. We fight them in the trenches, we fight them in the gully, in the hills. Yeah, on the plantation, we burn it down, we chop them up, we fight them. Yeah, and we had to fight some of our own even then. Because the system lasted for so much 100 years that some of our people were happy with it. They didn't want to be free. They wanted everything done for them, just like now. They want everything done for them. And we had to fight some. Listen, what people don't realize, that when the Civil War happened in the United States, between the North and the South, there were African people in the South fighting for the South to keep the status quo, because some of them they deny it. It was going on for so much 100 years that some of them now them get free themselves and then they have slave themselves. So some of them and some of them so in with the massa, yeah, and the plantation, them get certain little lucrative things and them a live like done. While the rest of them people are suffer. Them never want that to stop. For go walk. And master give me everything for free. You're mad. Me want this system, you're rude boy. Me nice. Just like how people talk now. And so they fool. And was it King George at the time promised them if them fight, he will give them freedom. That is our Freetown Sierra Leone come. We don't need to know the story. Remember me telling you. Yeah, it wasn't Africans from the north that emigrated and went to Freetown, Sri Lanka. It was Africans that fought on the side of the British. See? From the south. Who were the ones who were taken back to Sierra Leone? Yeah? And given that spot what them call Freetown, Sierra Leone. Remember me telling you, no go check it out for you. And furthermore, them never end up straight there because them end up have forgot Canada and Nova Scotia and stay there for one long time. One whole part of them they go down, half of them dead. Cool, kill them blouse and skirt. Yeah? And the leader have to come to Britain and lobby Parliament because the king they promised to give them a piece of land, Africa. You no go check it out. So these people all them do is use we. That them do. They use us against each other. And we allow them to do that. Yeah? You imagine this sister, she put on this thing here yesterday. And at the same time now, right? I think RMUK, them did that for them thing in the park. So that's a two function. But I never know there was another function going on. Yeah, over in Great Southwark Street. And apparently, me say a 5 years ago I know. I mean, this was extraordinary. I never knew nothing about it. It's when me reach up there. And so, when there's something done, cause that's from 1 till 4. When there's something done, people are telling me about this other thing. I'm saying, we're going there. And me see one thing with beer African style. Them have 2 stage, one at each side. A Great Southwark Road block off, with the 2 stage, and them have a stage halfway down. So them have each side them have stage with music, and then halfway down them have another stage with dancers and all kind of, and they want bagger style, all different kind of African things being sold. The only good thing about it was full of African people, and all of the style them now was African people style them, and them sell all them kind of African goods. I thought that was a good thing, but I never knew about it. And me think me know about everything. But those things are getting funded. And although I agree with those things, because we need to have things that helps us to express our business thing and our people to make their money. Yeah? The things that really gonna challenge this government for the wrongs that they have, kind of vigor and attendance at those things. And I'm talking about the first of Messiah. the 1st of August, the annual African Emancipation Day Reparation March. The reason why I mentioned those radio stations is because if all those radio stations that are out there, if every one of their presenter even just mention the 1st of August, you don't have to go into no long thing and no long debate thing like we who's on the talk shows. You don't have to do that, but you can say, yeah, don't forget the march, because boys, reparations. You could just say that. That's all you have to say. When is it? Yeah, 1st of August. Make sure that you're down at Brixton Windrush Square because boy, them people are war with. Even if you just say something so simple. If everybody said that, then some of our people who might want to know what it's about. Because the point is that these radio stations that we are on now, they're not the ones who started it. There are other people that risk their liberty to bring us, to show us how to do this thing so that we could be out here now, Africating our people, whether it's in our own type of music or our information that we know to be true to us. And that's why you hear what I'm saying. We have to engage politically on a local level, on a national level, and on an international level. We have to tell our stories just like the Jews tell their story. Look now, every 2 minutes, Corbyn can't fart. Him is anti-Semitic. If him go stand up a Golders Green and fart, they must say him farting there because he's Jews. Them dip on him like ticks. Yeah? And why? Because what it is, they owe what happened to them, to their heart. And they're making the world know, no, this happened to we, no, if you move amongst them, man, there, as far as we're concerned, you're against we. I saw them I do it. But that's their thing. But my thing is, you same one who's accusing him of that, you same one benefited from the enslavement of my ancestors. And I can prove it. We have documents. The documents are there. You see, because brothers and sisters, let me tell you something from now. When these people then was trafficking Africans between the 15th century, yeah, up until the 19th century, yeah, Africans never have no power. So they wrote what they did. They did their ledgers, how much they had, and how much Africans them have enslaved, and how much money them are going to make when them sell them. Because it was business. And it was an international business for Europeans, which the Jews were part of it. They were the ones who was insuring the ships. And even they themselves had Africans as slaves, because it was a business. It was just like having stocks and shares now. It was just another commodity. That's how they saw us. You see what I'm saying? So don't become here and running up on a mouth like say, oh no, some holier than thou, because you're not. You was part of the Maangamizi. And we have the papers to prove it. I said on this thing yesterday, there's a book called The Secret Relationships Between Blacks and Jews. It was written by the Nation of Islam. And what they did, their researchers did, they themselves didn't write nothing about it. All they did, they found all the paperwork of Jews who owned Africans as slaves, and quoted Jewish scholars who did that research. So no African did the research. They just got the research and put the research in a book and named the book The Secret Relation. That is about the only thing they did. They put it together and just gave it a name. And all the documentations of how much they did own and this and that and re-te-te. Yeah? So when they want to, but because they are very, very financially rich, they got a lot of paper money, or internet money, what I call it, where they put it on figures on things, so this is what they're worth and all the rest of that kind of nonsense. Because to me, money don't work nothing. Yeah, resources is what work things, but they use money as some distraction. You see what I'm saying? Yeah? And because they're very wealthy and they're very powerful, they're in very powerful positions. The Murdochs, the Rothschilds, and those people. Very, very powerful people. You mess with them, yeah, and you're in problems. So I know the consequences of what I'm doing, but I don't business. Because I'm making people know about them. I'm making my people aware of them. When the Windrush thing came out, and the scandal of the Windrush thing came out, as soon as that came out and that was all over the news, next minute you're hearing about the Jews and Corbyn. It's almost like they don't want nobody to have that kind of limelight about what happens to them. Yeah? You're telling me that the Labour Party is just had a problem with anti-Semitism just since Corbyn became leader? So you tell me them never did it when Blair did it? Them never did it when with the other one they name them from Wales. Can't remember him name them now. Yeah? You are telling me, say, that them never have a problem, them they did it? And that you come tell me that none of these people them was there. Right? Oh, sorry, Cooler. I didn't. Cooler, you can call back. I didn't. Sorry, I think the ring on the phone was there. So my apologies. Yeah, you telling me, say, right, that them never have that problem in the Labour Party. It's only since my man come that the problem did it. He never did it when Gordon Brown did it. He never did it when Miliband did it. All of a sudden now it have a problem because him is the leader. These people them are wicked. Hold on, I got some text coming in. I'm reading. You had a station in North London, Blues FM, Lightning FM, Supreme FM, RJR, who all at talk shows. Yeah, that's right. Give thanks for that, chairman. Paranja did run things in the night by far. What did happen to them? What's the history? Honor King. And then I got TBC, Dread Broadcasting Radio. Yes, and then yeah, Nugdin. Yeah, you know what? I wanted to play this tune.
Your favorite. Greetings, this is G Vibes, and you're listening to the Prophet Kwaku on the Nubian Forum People's Talk Show. Stay tuned, stay locked to the Prophet Kwaku on the Nubian Forum People's Talk Show.
That we are do with them. Prophet burn them. Fire. Slew them. Slew them. Says rise up to all the people around the world. We got the people them in the States, Mama Africa, they carry us beyond Europe and the world. Mars, Jupiter, Pluto, the Milky Way, Sirius A and B. That's a way of fire, you know. Yeah. And this is my mission. My mission is to advocate as much African people who don't know them as African into them Africanness, into their duty that whatever they are doing, they must always do something for the benefit of themselves, their family, and their external community. And that is my mission. And to venerate those that came before us and never make their memory just wither away in the wind. And all too often, this is what we do. All too often, we sit back and watch and want other people to take risks, and then you benefit from it without even lifting a finger. A young man spoke yesterday at this event, and he said, in the struggle, if you can't actually do anything physically, then you must at least think it. And if you think it, then at least use your mouth and say something about it. Because they've got us scared. Black people frightened now, like puss. You see, when you know your adversary, then you know the tactics your adversary will come to destabilize anything that you do. I'm a man, I play table tennis. I used to play it competitively, but I don't play it competitively no more. But I still play it. I like it. It's a good exercise. And it allows me to release some aggression. But when you're playing with somebody in a match, and they might have a particular serve where you can't angle, somewhere along the line, you're going to figure out a way to angle that serve. Or if they beat you before, you go home, you think about how did I lose that match, and you start to map in your mind how you're going to deal with them when you have the return. And it's the same thing with what's transpiring with us as African people. We're under some assumption that, slavery over, we're free now, we can jump and plane, so, me have a business where me are running the same, me make enough money, me have a good job, me get a good education and all them something that, me nice, me good, and think that's what it is, and that you're free. Me do it so the rest of them can do it. And what you don't realize is that, yes, we applaud and commend the excellence of you being able to rise up out of the dust of fire and achieve certain things within the structures that you live. But the mass of you is not there. It's no good me that the rest of my people them can't roll with me. Because the whole way I enjoy it. It's like, you put on a party and you spend all this money for this party or a wedding or whatever celebration it is, and not just you one in there. Nobody no come with you. Nobody no come for celebrate and things like that. It's just you one in this place with this wealth or something, and nobody no there to enjoy it with it. Wealth is meaningless if you don't have somebody or other people to enjoy it with. It's meaningless. It don't mean nothing. You see my deal with? These people for the last 500 years has been able to rob the wealth of planet Earth from the people them who the Creator made them be where the natural resources them is. Yeah? Not that it solely belongs to one set of humans, but they should be the ones that dictate the parameters of how it is distributed. Not the people them who come from with them now, Jack Daniel and all them something there. See? And they've had us in subjugation for 500 years. And when we fought them over them 500 years, into the part where they have to kind of say, where they, them have to stop the slavery thing, because the African them are going to get wicked. And even when we try to make a living for ourselves, they burnt down our towns. They burnt down our little settlements. Because we were more successful than them. Imagine that. Yeah? And they kept doing that until around about, I would say, 40 years ago. Just 40 years ago. And it's nothing, I'd say 20 years ago or 30 years ago. Remember, their Great War finished in 1945. Started 1939 and it lasted, I think it was 5-6 years. Where them nearly blow each other to smithereens. The whole of Europe was bombed to smithereens. France, Germany, Poland, Britain, Spain, Portugal. The whole place bomb out. And the very same people that these individuals, the Spanish, the French, the Germans, the British, the Dutch, the Portuguese, who were the principal players in the enslavement of Africans, from the western part of Africa, where they shipped us out at the West were the Spanish, the French, the Dutch, the British, and the Portuguese. Them 5 there. Yeah? And Belgiumese people, them too. Belgium. Yeah? Them 6 there. They were the principal players in the enslavement of our people. Enslaved us for all them years. Nothing. And then where we are concerned, the Africans that live in Britain had the audacity to pay the enslavers compensation for loss of possible earnings and loss of property. And then on top of that, charge the people them who were working for X amount of 100 years for nothing, that they have to work another 5 years to pay off the other portion of this loan. And if that wasn't sacrilegious, remortgage that money for another 184 years. Keep borrowing against it, remortgaging it to use it to do whatever they built or did with it, and charged us, the descendants of those people, tax to pay it back, plus their own people. And then you want to come and say to me, yeah, right? Otep caller, what's your name? Where you calling from? And just hold on, caller, let me land.
What's that?
Otep, let me land, caller. And
Huh?
I said, let me land. Let me land before you come in, yeah?
Say again?
I said, let me land before you come in.
All right.
And then on top of that, Kwame, I didn't say to hang up. I said, let me land first. But it don't matter, you can call back. And then after that, that was February 2015. Listen to the time. February 2015. I never say, this is what they said themselves. And then you want to come and tell me that is black people problem? The African people are the bane of their own demise? These people got 400 years start on you. They got 400 years start. 400 years start them have. It's like you're running an 800-meter race. Yeah? And a man's got 400 meters start on you. Him only have to run 1 lap. And the race done. By the time you come in, him gone again. Otep caller, what's your name and where you calling from? Otep.
Yeah, Otep, greetings.
Yes,
Otep. Greetings.
Yeah. It's brother Kwame. Go on, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man, how you doing, man? You right?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm very good.
Good, man, good. What should the man and people, you know, man? You get to jail, man.
Listen, man. When he's a liberation fighter, you know, all them things is possible, you know, my friend.
That's true, man.
When you're dealing with truth, all them things is possible. Listen, let me tell you something from now, yeah? There is a brother, one of the... They locked up about 19 Black Panther Party members in the 1960s. They locked them up because some of them went to start blow up place and a fire shot on police boy, yeah? And they killed a couple of policemen. And there was a few of them that was in solitary confinement for 47 years. Imagine being in solitary confinement for 1 day, for a month, for a week, for a year. The man in a solitary confinement for 47 years. And every 2 years, he goes up for his parole. And he gives compassion to the family of the policemen that he killed. And he said, you know, he's sorry about the loss of their family and thing. But when they asked him the question about his political status and does he still hold dear to his political beliefs, he says yes. And that, them don't let him out. And when he was asked a question, so why did you know, all you have to say is blah blah, and he said, then if I do that, I'd have spent all that time for nothing. He said, I miss my family and everything, but I can't do it.
Yeah.
These men them and women that they lock up and things that are still political prisoners in the United States of America today sacrifice themselves for us. So we can't come like that no little weak up. And them thing there. You understand what I'm saying to you? The people them, you see these little privileges that we have today. Yeah? We couldn't do this before.
Yeah,
You couldn't even think about speaking against the powers that be without, you know, repercussions of all kind of nefarious things. See? But we have to wake up our people. You know, this whole thing, I know that people's getting excited about the stabbings and all the rest of it, and it's bad, and I feel it for the families. But let me tell you something from now, yeah? I remember me tell you this, you know. There's some kind of law they want to implement, but they need a good reason to do it, because the massive, the general public don't like after laws are there already, and when they come in the next law now, you know, they got to say, well, you know, this is reason why, and this is you understand me? Yeah. But once that law is implemented, it's there forever.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So I don't trust them. My shop at them, I send the boy them in there do some look hypnotism business, and I send them for go kill each other and all them stuff. I mean, I trust them. I mean, know them wicked and evil, and them have all kind of science where them a deal with. Yeah,
man.
Right? Them deal with hypnotism and all them thing, and psychological control and all them thing, the mental, and me know them. So me not trust nothing them though. I mean, now let them off of the hook. Yeah, for them anger me easy. Me nah let them off. You understand me? Because these people them, right, want to masquerade themselves around the world like they're decent. They're wicked.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And I don't want to hear nobody come and tell me about it's black people fault and all them things that we're our own worst enemy. Oh, we's our own worst enemy. When I know, when I them do all the wickedness to we. And we're still fighting to get a proper Africation about knowledge and all them thing there. If they were so nice and good, why they don't want to teach our children about what happened to them, how they end up in Britain? Most of our children don't even know how they end up in England.
No.
They don't know. They haven't got a Scooby-Doo, mate, of how they end up here. Them don't know how them end up in Britain. Them just feel say, yeah, them there and that's how it go. Yeah? But you got there and you ask a Jew, child, how them end up here. They can tell you. They can tell you how Hitler tried to do this. They can tell you right back to the 11th century. Yeah? They can tell you about when Britain used to kill them in this country. In the same 11th century. Britain, 16th century. 1600 and all. 1500 and so. When them kill off Jews and all them things, right here at Britain.
Yeah.
Yeah? Right? I ain't no lie I'm telling nobody. If them don't believe me, go and check it out. Listen, a Jew woman came up to me after I spoke yesterday. And she came up to me. I didn't know she was a Jew. And she said, she came to me and she goes to me, I'm a Jew. So I thought she was gonna, she was gonna attack me. You know what I mean? I don't mean physically, but verbally.
Yeah, verbally.
And she goes, you see everything that you said? And then she went, was true. She goes, I'm a Jew, and I'm telling you, what you said was true. And our people don't like to hear that. Well, she goes, let me tell you something. Not all of us as Jews agree with the attack on Corbyn. Not all of us as Jews agree with Zionism. This is a Jew woman tell me that, and tell me, that leader, that Jewish MP from Labour, when she went and tell her the same thing, the woman spit after her.
What, Clive Lewis? Not Clive Lewis.
No, not her. One other one.
Hodge. No.
What's her first name? Mary Hodge? Is it Mary Hodge?
Yeah. Mary Hodge.
Yeah. Was her? Yeah. She told me she spit. The woman said to me, she went and said the same. Why is this? You know that this happened? She said the woman spit on her. Jew spitting on another Jew. You see what I'm saying? So my thing is this, and this is what I keep telling people. See, people hear me talk, Kwame, and they think is a hate thing. But you see, I'm not into no hate business. I'm into I'm into just telling the truth. And unfortunately, the truth don't have no friends. So it's it has a bitter taste.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Sometimes it's best you don't tell the truth about certain things so people can't handle it. You see what I'm dealing with? Yeah? But I know that they have got a plan, because anytime something comes out about what happens to us as a people, what tends to happen is the Jewish lobby starts attacking the Labour Party. You understand me? Yeah? When it came out that they ship out the black people them, and then the old Windrush thing came out, for them thing, I think it was the next day. Every time there's something that deals with the Ma'angamis, the Holocaust of African people, yeah, these people come up because their thing must be the most important thing than anything else. Yeah, well, you were involved in it too. You see what I'm saying? And that's my issue, and that's my point.
We know also, right? You mentioned, you talked about just a minute ago about the British and the Dutch and the Germans and whoever. I think the French as well. Portuguese and Spanish,
the British, right? The Dutch, the Spanish, the Portuguese, the French, the Belgium, right? Yeah. All of them. The Netherlands, Netherlands people there, them people there. All of them in the night. Yeah.
We also forgot to mention Sweden, Denmark and Norway.
Denmark, that's why I said the Netherlands.
The Netherlands is Holland.
Yeah, is the whole of them Scandinavian people there?
Scandinavia, yeah, because they're involved. Because in Ghana, right, our system of government, right, used to be called Christian Borg Castle. That was actually a slave fort. That was actually built by the Danes in Usu. Right, there's actually a church in Usu called Christian Borg Church, right, built by the Danes. Yeah, Cape Coast Castle was built by the Swedish in I think 1600s. All right. And they're a prime thing in Ghana, man. Right, and there's a street called Blomqvist Street in Usu. Right, that's named after the Swedish slave owner, Blomqvist. Right, there's also, King Gustav I. He was like, what do you call it? He had shares in the Swedish East India Company, which was a slave company chief operating from Ghana.
Well, yeah, because they're all that companies, isn't it? The West Indian company, and then you got East India Dot Road and all the things there. All that, go on, carry on,
Yeah, and then in Denmark, right, Copenhagen, right, was a big-time slave fort, man. Big-time slave fort. Even to the fact that I think it was beginning of this year or last year, right, the Queen of Denmark, Marguerite, right, she came to Ghana and she apologized to her president, right, for the Danish slavery in Ghana. Think about it now, right? And also, Sweden, right, Stockholm and Malmö, they were big-time slave ports. And that's what made, Stockholm and Malmö in particular, look at history, right? That made them very, very rich. You know what I mean? So like I said, all of them were involved. All the Western Europeans, all of them were involved, man.
All of them
were involved, man.
Everyone. So the point, so in addition to what you're saying to my king, these people have some 500 years start on us.
Of course.
500 years. Yeah? And I hear African people cussing African people. Yeah? But they ain't got no balls to cuss the real enemy. The real perpetrator of our demise. Yeah. And even if there was some people could see, because people don't study their own story, people can give them snippets of the truth. Yeah. Yeah, but because what the West is very good at is telling you part of the story.
Yeah, then to the full story, man. Yeah.
And not telling you the totality of the story. So when an allegation is made against somebody and they go court, what the judge do? The judge sits there and the judge is supposed to be impartial. Yeah, and what happened is the prosecution has to present their case. The defense have to present their case, and then the jury now have to look at the evidence, and decide who's telling the truth. You see what I'm saying? Yeah? What these people them do, they tell a part of the story. Yeah? They only tell you a little bit of the story. When they came to the west coast of Africa, we're talking about this wave of their enslavement. Yeah. Because their cousins, the Arabs, was another wave before them. And then their relatives, the Romans, that was another wave. But the Romans just enslaved everybody. Yeah? Yeah, it wasn't just a black thing with the Romans. They enslaved the Gauls and all them people there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everyone.
Their system was a different form of slavery. Yeah, right. But when these present-day Europeans from the 14th century onwards engaged in the enslaving of Africans, yeah, when they came to the west coast of Africa, they were shipwrecked first. That's what people don't realize. It's a shipwreck. And the Africans helped them rebuild the ship and sent back emissaries with them to go and see this, Europe got them so, for go talk to them and, political relations, yeah? And what the Pope did was enslave them.
Yeah.
And what people don't know about this part of this history, that Portugal and Spain were at war at the time.
Yeah.
And the Pope of the time explained that, listen, you're two Catholic countries, you shouldn't be warring. So here what? He goes, Spain are going to give you the New World, which was the Americas, yeah? And Portugal, I'm going to give you the Dark Land, because that's what they used to call Africa, yeah? They used to call it the Dark Land, not because people was dark, because they didn't know nothing about it, yeah? So that's why you find it was the Portuguese that went down, is predominant in that part of the world.
West Africa,
and the Spanish, which they call Hispanics now, are dominant in the Americas.
South America,
You understand?
That's
right?
that paper book of 1452 by Pope Nicholas,
Yeah, right. That's it, Pope Nicholas. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So when they came down on the west coast now, right, and we build ship for them and fix them up, malaria and all them something when I kill them, and we look after them and fix up boys. Right, go on, nyam some fufu and them thing there, and nyam some kenke and fix up your body, right, and then we send them back. Yeah, the man them now come and they start the ask for permission to build, because a lot of the forts that's built there, they ask permission from the kings to build a little settlement, not knowing that what they were building was forts.
Yeah.
And when the kings discovered what was happening, it was too late. So what happened is they started to do what they call slave raiding.
Yeah.
This is what people don't realize. Before slave trading, there was slave raiding.
Yeah. Because they had to go into the interior.
That's right. Where they were raiding villages and towns and cities and all them thing there.
Yeah.
And when they subdued some of the groups, because they had guns in it. They had a bit more sophisticated weaponry.
Of course,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
And when there was certain, and they said, listen, look, we'll kill out the whole of your people them if you don't free up certain things.
Yeah.
This is how this whole thing start. The whole story is not told. You see what I'm saying? So when the story... Yeah, go on, brother.
No, I'm just going to say, that's how they said that we fought one another. We didn't say one another. It was either killed or be killed. So you have some people on the coastline, right? Like I said, some of the Fantas, right? Because for example, like you said, the Portuguese, right? They built Elmina in Elmina, just near Cape Coast. They built that, that's called the mine in English, but Elmina is the Portuguese word, Elmina, right? They built that slave fort was a castle, and like you say, it was a slave fort, and then they had to raid, go in the interior. So they got some of the Fantas, right, to help them go into the interior, right? Go to places like, Mampong, and then places, right, to get black people, man. And they brought them from, because I've done this as a thesis, right? Because many Jamaicans, right, at least 70% of Jamaicans come from Ghana, and come from the Akan people of Ghana, right? And they come, and I can even pinpoint, because we did, when I part of my thesis, right, we went to Montego Bay and Kingston, right? There were two slave ports where our ancestors were taken to, right, brought to, yeah? And we did it, I did some DNA evidence. I took some DNA from people in Montego Bay and took some DNA from people in Kingston, right? Took it back to the University of Legon in Accra, right? And we discovered that those Jamaicans, right, particularly from Montego Bay and Kingston, right, they actually come from Mampong, and they come from the Krapim in, just outside Kumasi. You understand? Right, and there's a place called, before there's a place called Don Quincio. Don Quincio means basically, in Slave River, right? That's when they had their last bath before they take to the coast.
Yeah, I saw a documentary on that, I saw a documentary on that,
Right, exactly. You know what I mean? So when they came to the coast, right, Elmina and Cape Coast and 10 man in prison, right, second D Takradi, right, then they're brought into his floats, right, and that's when obviously they're taking the so-called door of no return and taken to a new world. But that's, all that is, right, they like give like a party, man. But then, like you said, they don't take the full picture of how they allowed our people, right, to say you're either with me or you're against me. You either be killed or be killed.
And
got involved.
And this is the sorry to cut you, beloved, yeah. And this is the story this is the narrative that has been propagated for decades.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people hear me come on the radio every week, and I might keep regurgitating this, but the thing is, people need to know, because if we don't tell our story, somebody else is going to tell it for us. And somebody else,
when they do, right, they're telling the wrong way as well,
right.
Man.
And somebody has been telling that story for ages.
Of course, and they said that I sold, blah blah, we Africans sold blah blah blah, right? That's the narrative now, right?
That is definitely the narrative.
And that's the wrong narrative, because, like I said, they use violence, right? The terrorists that they are, to coerce some of us that
I'll tell you what, Kwame, we don't even have to go back to those times to show how these people behave. Right now, in this time, in the time that we live now, that's how they behave. If you're not running things the way we run it, we're going to invade you, because we got big airplane carriers.
Yeah.
We got we got nuclear submarines.
We got drones.
Yeah, we got drones. We got weapons of mass destruction. So you don't do what we tell you to do, right? And we'll mash up your country, and we will sanction you. Yeah,
of course.
We will cut off all aid to you and cut off.
And the white man blew the lid off it, right? There's a book which is now on YouTube, right, called The Confessions of an Economic Hitman by John Perkins. Right, it's a former CIA agent, right? That blew the lid of how the open, like you say. First of all,
he's dead now. That guy, I think, isn't it?
I'm not sure, I don't know. If he's dead,
because he's the one that blew the lid on about when they're going to countries and destabilize them. All that type of stuff. I think he's dead now. I think because they tried to kill him a couple of times.
Right.
I mean, you said him dead. I mean, you said him dead. No.
Right, man. After we keep him. You know what I mean? But yeah, right, because he's the one that said, what we'll do, right? We're going to this country, right? And we allow them to take loans, force them, or try and coerce them to take loans, right? And when they take loans, right, what they do, right, is like they get their companies and their consultants, right, to be the main benefactors of these loans that go to Ghana, right? If that doesn't work, right, they'll send their, what do you call it? You said there's three things. One, they'll send the economic hitman. If that don't work, right, they'll send the hitman to try and take him out, right?
Yeah,
if that doesn't work, right?
Yeah, and if it doesn't work, they're sending the mercenaries to form a coup. Yeah.
A coup, yeah.
He's dead. That guy's dead.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Me and Sam dead.
What? Them got him.
Yeah. Me said that man dead. Me said that man dead. And kill him.
Okay.
Because him let off. And in fact, there's a video documentary on it where they show. He talks about it and he says, their planes is not registered. They just fly in, and them just come in with a suitcase, and they would have put down and said, "Listen, you're taking this money, and this." I remember. I remember Michael Manley even mentioned that, in a documentary once when he says the IMF, what they do, they come and say they're going to give this amount of money. And when they give you that amount of money now, what happens is they tell you, so this is what you can spend it on. You can't spend it on that. You can't spend it on that, and you can't spend it on this. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And this is where you see now corruption comes, because the money have to spend. And so what happened is the leaders take the money and spend it on all different type of things. You know what I mean? But that's what it is. But give thanks here, Kwame, because it's quarter to somebody else might want call in. Yeah, man. And rise up yourself every time up there in the Nottingham mirror. Keep the fire blowing. Yeah.
Man.
Bless. Hotep. You're in tune to Nubian Forum People's Talk Show live here on the rock926.com. The number is 07539695245 inside the Nubian experience. See, and all I can do, my brothers and sisters, is tell you the truth about what I've learned about the acts of these people. And, you know, I'm not telling any lie. I will never lie on them. I don't need to. But we need to highlight this to our children and our children's children, so that we do better for ourselves, so that our children don't look at each other with hate and despise, you know? Otep caller, what's your name and where you calling from?
Yeah, Otep, Prophet Kwaku. Brother Naya, I'm calling from, I'm over North Islington, yeah?
Yes, Brother Naya. Yes, we are.
Yo, people complaining that your show's too short, bro. Could you, maybe ask your sponsor or the management, maybe you can get another hour?
Well, you know, sometimes, brother, we got to work with what we got. You understand what I'm saying to you? Yeah, we got
okay, if that's the case then, could you put a call waiting on your phone, because it's quite frustrating when people trying to get through and people just talking about white people. I mean, anyway, I'm not gonna go into it. But can you just, if that's the case, could you put a call waiting on your phone?
I suppose I could.
Yeah, because like, you know what I mean? It's just like, certain people I've noticed, they're on all radio stations and then they just take up all the time, brother.
I mean, you know, brother, if people got something to say, if they want to go on a million radio station, that's up to them. I mean, I don't have an issue.
No, I'm just saying about the time they take.
I know. 1 second now. I think if anybody should complain about is me, because I kept the person on for that length of time. I should have cut the time a lot earlier. That's not the problem of the person that called in. That's a problem of the person that's constructing and narrating the show. So I apologize to you. 1 second, beloved. I apologize to you if I kept the brother on too long. But that's my.
No, but this is what I'm asking. This is what I'm saying. If you had a call waiting, yeah, you would know that. Because if there's no one calling, yeah, I'm saying why? What? Yeah, keep the brother on, yes. But what I'm trying to say, if you know other people, because you don't know other people are calling, so it's not your fault. It's not anybody's fault. But I just want to quickly, because I know you ain't got much time. Yeah, see, I'm quite considerate, right?
Well,
okay, people.
Brother, now you never enough of your time complaining about something.
Yeah. Hypocrite.
You should have said your thinking. Just say your thing.
Yeah. But I can't play. I can't play that.
You get tea. Just say your thing, man. You get tea. Do your thing and just go.
Yeah, cause you're frustrated. No, but anyway, quickly. People ask me. So someone said, I ain't coming in the march because they're not marching about knife crime and all that kind of thing. I said, listen, this is anyway. You know what I said, because I'm trying to say we incorporate all the thing, but then my idiot, you can't really explain to that. I said, now bring your banners. But I wanted to ask you, brother. You see, like Brother Kwame and certain people. No, I'm not. Anyway, not this, but this white man, right? How's that addressing? For instance, the stabbings that's going on in Camberwell, right? For instance, I'm reading on BBC station, and what I want to ask you: do you think this is an isolated incident, or is it an epidemic of this knife crime thing? Because I'm reading on BBC thing, right? This thing, did you know that 2 men died? They put on the same thing. 2 men got killed, right, and 2 boys got hurt. So they got 2 men that got stabbed and killed in 2 separate parts of London, yeah. And then they've associated with the same people in Camberwell, and 15 and 16 get up.
Yeah, Brother Naya, what happened there?
Yeah.
You see, Brother Naya, you know, the thing is, history is best qualified to reward our research. And so when you heard me and my brother Kwame speaking, we were doing giving some historical data about the present day circumstances. I don't know how long you've been listening to the show, but if you was listening to it from, I came on at just after 5 o'clock, I did a whole thing about what I feel about this old stabbing thing. I did nearly an hour on it.
Same.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that bit, brother.
Yeah, so it's quite clear you didn't. That is why I know you just tuned in not too long ago, because I did the first hour. I dealt with that, but for your benefit, I will explain to you that I know my enemy in it, and I know how they work. There's 2 things happening here. The first thing is that people have been stabbing people and having gang fights in this country forever. It's not a new. It's not a new phenomenon.
Well, most definitely.
Yeah, right. The Teddy Boys, the Rockabillys, the Hells Angels, the Mods, they were all chopping up each other up
well,
and them things.
I can remember when we there on there and 2 black men and I said chop up. I was a youth in school uniform, going ones at school. And I was chop up each other in the Arndale.
Yeah. So the chopping up thing is not known. It's not nothing new in Britain. You follow what I'm saying to you? Now, it doesn't negate the fact that some people's lost their children's life and things like that, and I feel it for them, and I don't like it. But you see, I've got to be a bit more Africating in the way that I view things. I can't look on that because that's the end product of what's really happening. So if you want to stop that, you got to go to the root of the source that's causing that behavior, because it's a behavior. If they ain't got knives that we use, they ain't guns, they're gonna use their hands, or they're gonna use a buckle or something like that. They're going to use something. So there's a behavior pattern that's wrong here.
Exactly. So why aren't we addressing the anger and where the source of it's coming from then?
Well, I think I did that in the first hour, beloved, and because you wasn't listening.
Well, is it self-hate?
Your problem is you need to tune in on time. That's what you need to do.
I tune in on time, but there's adverts. You know what I mean? Too much adverts in there.
No, you never tune in on time. You tune in at 6 o'clock. Shut up. You do like 5.
Nah, bro. I tune in, man. I tune in, bro.
Yeah, because I went through today. But listen, but also as well, brother, I believe that there's a law that they want to introduce, but it's quite a nefarious, it's quite a draconian law. But in order to get public support for it, they've got to keep promoting these kind of things. You know what I mean?
Anarchy, anarchy. But that's the old tactic, bro. That's the same tactic, man. Yeah.
So that's my issue. In terms of how we deal with it, my simple answer is that we need to send our children to our own institutions, and there's a lot of African Saturday schools out there that are doing
for real.
And people, instead of sending your children out there doing all kind of thing and running up and down, you need to send them into these institutions and give them to us, and we'll fix them up for you.
Yeah, and you never give out the bank. You never give out the bank details for that, bro. But let's land quickly and let you round up. Yeah. There's one more thing. The tactic in which you employed for Cherry, yeah, in terms of the signatures. Why don't the reparations march employ them same tactic?
The Cherry Groves scenario was a different scenario. Yeah.
See.
It was a different scenario, and because it didn't so-called attack the state. I mean, we're not talking just the police here. We're talking the government. That's what we're talking here. Yeah, and it's a whole. This is big. What the African Emancipation Day Reparation March signifies. It incorporates even what happened to Cherry, what happened to Cynthia Jarrett, Mark Duggan. You know what I mean? Sean Riggs. It engulfs that and much more. That's what the Manganese is. And so,
no disrespect.
No, one second. 1 second. The European media whitewashes anything we do. Read this. They don't talk to us about it. They don't give us the airtime for it. Do you follow what I'm saying to you? Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say, in terms of strategy, the people that, as far as I'm aware, right, the people that signed your the Cherry Groves petition to get 100,000 signatures, majority of them were Zungo.
Yeah, but what you have to remember is that my cousin, quite cleverly, and was allowed, to speak. You know, the papers got the hold of it, and
but this is exactly what I'm trying to say, bro.
Listen to what I'm saying to you, beloved. Yeah, the papers got hold of it, and they started to do the journalistic work on it. They don't want to do no journalistic work on this, on the Manga.
Okay, so if we got a Spider-Man, right, to climb up to the Houses of Parliament or something like that,
you want to do it?
Do you know what, bruv? If it's something for my people, I would dress up in a Black Panther outfit, stand up, scale the thing, and say me now, let me down, and put stop the Manganese or something like that. I would sacrifice that.
I will support the eye for that, 100%.
See? Okay. You know what I mean?
That wasn't the tactic that was used. Read Cherry Groves. That's the tactics that was used for Fathers for Justice. But you're talking about getting limelight of the media. Yeah, true. And don't get me wrong, beloved. We're gonna have to do some things like that. Yeah, definitely. But you see,
but also you could just put a thing in the free post of the papers.
Yeah. But you see, for me, me personally, I'm about getting the attention of our people. You see, let me tell you something, brother. You see, on the 1st of Messiah, we have coaches of Africans coming from Manchester, Leeds, Liverpool, Bristol, Birmingham, Luton, Nottingham, yeah, Sheffield, Hertfordshire. If we had like coaches, like they're going to a rave, like culture black coming into London on that day, all the Africans in London on that day, trust me, brethren.
Most def. So what I'm trying to say,
hold on a second. Let me tell you from now, we won't need to go to the media. The media will come to us.
Yeah. So to expand and to try.
So what we got to do, beloved, right? We got to get the attention of our people. That's what we have to. But I'm gonna cut you there, brother, because I got. Yeah.
Before I land, 1 second, So in that case, I support that. Yeah. So how can we the funding? How did you How did you fund the march? So how come because you're not hearing about how can we support the march in terms of funding until
funding of the march. All right. Funding of the march. We have a GoFundMe account. Yeah. Right. And that GoFundMe account, is GoFundMe.com/UK March. And you can put money in there.
I'm putting that in there. GoFund. Yeah. UK March,
yeah? Yeah, UK March, yeah? And we have a bank account as well. I ain't got the bank account details, But we actually have a bank account, African Self-Repair account. It's actually a bank account that you could set up a direct debit or a standing order and put money into that account. I will read that out next week because I don't have it right now. If a member of the group is listening, they can text me that or WhatsApp it to me straight away. I'll read it out before the show finishes. I've got 5 minutes left.
Okay, King. Give thanks for the time, man.
All right, then, Naya. Give thanks. Okay. I mean, Brother Naya made some very valid points, and if you wanna if you want to donate to the facilitating of the march, because it does cost money. It costs quite a bit of money, to be quite honest. Yeah, the Portaloo alone costs 600 quid. But if you wanna contribute to that, you could go to www.gofundme.com or gofundme.com/UK March. Yeah, that's a GoFundMe account. You could go in there and you can, donate money towards the march. But if you want more information about the march and things like that, go to www.reparationsmarch.org. Yeah, and we have a link to the www.stopthemahangamizi.com. See, if you want to get involved in the march and volunteering as a security or a steward, we're recruiting from now. Yeah, 07922 03546. Yeah. Otep, I'm just taking one last call here right now, and you've got to literally be 2 minutes. Otep.
Right, I'll do less than that. And it's unfortunate that the man who phone will complain about another man take up so much time. But anyway, not complaining. You missed out part of the story, and part of the story of why the young people are killing each other is that you remember the Yardies, right? How the Scotland Yard went down to Jamaica and get some black criminals and come over here and to destabilize the community, the black community in England.
Yes, you're correct, Kwame. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
And people, if there's any new listeners out there who've never heard this information, go and research Oliver North. Yeah, on the Iran-Nicaragua Contra affair. Yeah, and also research the Yardies.
They got a new film. Right. Like, you see that new thing? God knows what that's going to be about.
I haven't seen it. But anyway, I just put that in the mix.
Yes, and that's
because people think that you just talking for talking sake.
Yeah, that's right.
It's deliberate destabilization that is going on.
It's not an accident, and people can't see that it's not an accident. Is it? You see, we got to get past the. Yeah, really and truly, and we got to really start to think about what's why is this happening so regular? What, are we mad? We're psychologically disturbed. Well, maybe we must be. You know what I mean?
And to add to your point as well, if one check out the story of America, the white people who call themselves cowboys, they used to kill each other, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Them go rob a bank, and next thing you know, them kill one man and up with the money.
Yeah, well, we look at the gangster stuff that went on there, and even till now, I mean, more people die in America, the streets of America, than soldiers are dying in war. So there you are, innit? So there is. Give thanks, Kwame.
No problem.
I'll take. Yeah, just want to big up Nev's 8 panels and ADE Photographic Pictorians, official sponsors of this show. And also our Saturday school Nubian, we're starting back the 3rd Saturday in September. So if you want your children them to go to the school, just go on Google Nubia Saturday School, log in onto Nubia Saturday School, and you see our website. There's a number that you can contact if you want to bring your children to the school to get Africated. And if you want to make a donation to our school, we are with the Nationwide. Our sort code is 070093. That's our sort code, 070093, and the account number is 7 3s, 4. So you write down 3 7 times, and then 4, and that's our account number.
Lock it up.